Hey everybody, welcome to my meditation bootcamp. This section we're going to talk about how to set up your environment in order to give yourself the best chances of a successful meditation. In the previous lesson, we learned how the body senses the world around it and how it looks for changes in the environment and uses those changes to alert the mind of danger. So in order to have a good chance of a successful meditation, we need to eliminate as many of those environmental distractions as possible. When you get really good at meditating, you could meditate at the side of a highway without any problems. But when you're first starting out, it's good to choose a quiet location that just removes most of those distractions to begin with. So let's start with the environment. Where are we going to meditate? It's a good idea to choose a location that's naturally quiet. It doesn't have to be completely silent, but away from any sudden noises or the chance of interruptions from other family members. So choose a quiet room away from the rest of the family. Tell the other family members that you're going to meditate and that you would appreciate a little bit of quiet time. Of course, they may not listen, but it's always worth asking. When you've found your quiet room, you can always hang a sign on the door too as a little reminder. Close the door and also any windows to eliminate most of the sounds from the natural environment. Always wear loose clothing, otherwise as the rest of your body's senses calm down, the tightness of the clothing will be the thing that shouts the loudest and distracts you from meditation. As you breathe, you'll also feel the material rubbing against your skin, so avoid materials that are very textured. Sudden noises can be quite jarring when you're deep in meditation, but constant background noises tend to fall away with time. Voices and dialogue, such as from a TV or other people talking in the house, will keep your mind occupied as you focus on the words and their meaning versus natural sounds that don't need interpretation and can simply just fall away. Choose somewhere that's a comfortable temperature, preferably a little bit cool to start with. Once you start meditating, your improved blood flow and circulation will very often make you a little bit warmer. So if you start a little bit cool, you'll finally reach a nice balance. Dim lighting is good to meditate. Your body naturally associates dim lighting with periods of rest. We don't want the room completely dark, otherwise there is a chance that you will fall asleep. But try to avoid bright lights or lights that keep moving. If there are cars driving past, you may get flashes of light coming through the window, which will most certainly distract you. Choose an area with no visible movement. Some people meditate with their eyes open, and if you can see movement, such as people walking past a glass doorway or pets moving in the room, they will distract you. Even with your eyelids closed, you can still detect changes in light. So again, avoid areas where the light gets interrupted by passing cars or planes or people. Get rid of all your electronics. If you can set up a dedicated space with no electronics in it, that's even better. But definitely put your cell phone on silent, cover up any blinking LEDs. You can simply just drape a towel over them to stop them flashing and distracting you. And you definitely don't want to get interrupted by Facebook notifications, because those will definitely trigger the mind into curiosity. Remember, your phone is what got you into this mess in the first place, so leave it outside the room if you can. Try to use the same place each time if you can. It creates a habit, and your body will settle much faster, because each time you sit down, it will say, "Oh, I guess we're here again, it's time to meditate." So you will find that you can get into deeper states much quicker. Don't meditate if your stomach is growling, and definitely don't eat a large meal just before you meditate. Digesting food takes a lot of energy and will make it difficult to concentrate. Remember, meditation is an active thing, not a passive thing. When is the best time to meditate? So traditionally, meditation was done twice a day at sunrise to take advantage of the sun's energy, and then again at sunset. Those are still really good times to meditate today, but of course we have to fit meditation in with our busy schedules. But if you can choose a nice consistent time, your mind will build up the association that, oh, it's meditation time, and it will make it much easier. If you can do twice a day, that's great. If you can only do once a day, I would recommend doing it in the morning so that you set yourself up for the whole day. I personally don't do yoga, but if you do, then meditating right after yoga is a wonderful practice because you've already aligned your body and allowed the energy to start flowing. But I do meditate first thing in the morning before I do anything else. But my evening meditation varies a little bit. I have to fit it in with my family life. But as long as I don't do it straight after dinner, and as long as I don't do it too close to bedtime, where there's sometimes a chance of falling asleep during meditation, then I find that works fine. So how long should you meditate? So I've seen quite a few different answers to this online, but in my experience, you should meditate for as long as you feel is necessary. There have been studies, even the US Army did a study, that suggested that 12 minutes was the appropriate time that gave the best bang for the buck. But if you can only manage 1 minute, then that is much better than none. And if you want to meditate for 2 hours, fine, go ahead, as long as you're meditating properly and not just sitting there contemplating or daydreaming. But just like an Olympic runner might train for 40 hours a week, most people can see great health benefits from just a 20-minute jog 2 or 3 times a week. Meditation is the same. Even a little bit of meditation has tremendous health benefits. When you first start out, just shoot for 5 minutes, and then gradually increase that to 10, with your ultimate goal being 20. But again, be gentle with yourself and do what feels right for you. If you're thinking that 20 minutes of meditation twice a day sounds like a lot of time, you may find that meditation is really quite restorative, and so you end up needing less sleep. So the time that you spend meditating, you gain back with less time in bed. The other thing that people find is that meditation promotes great focus, so they're able to get more things done in a shorter period of time. So you may find you actually get more free time at the end of the day anyway. And if you work in a big office, your boss might really like the fact that now you can get more work done. But again, do what feels right for you. Meditation is very gentle, not forceful. You're trying to go with the flow, not divert a raging river. You can also do mini meditations throughout the day. Every time you jump in your car, just sit quietly for 30 seconds. Or every time you have to make a phone call, just sit for 20 seconds before you make the call. And just enjoy the calmness and the stillness. For the meditation junkies out there, the key word these days is mindfulness. It's essentially being present in everything that you do, so that your mind no longer jumps in to interrupt you. It stops you from dwelling in the past, and it stops you from solving future problems that may not even occur. But it doesn't prevent your mind from interrupting you when it senses danger or something that needs your attention. So don't worry, you'll still be safe. It sounds scary, the thought of having no mind, but you'll soon realize that it's really quite liberating, especially when you realize how much you've missed out on in present life just by being dragged either into the past or into the future. Some people set a timer when they meditate. I find that very jarring and distracting though. I always feel like I just get into a very deep meditation when the alarm goes off, and it jars me unnecessarily into the real world. If you don't have a time constraint, I advise you to not set a timer. Sometimes you can sit for an hour and it only feels like minutes. Or sometimes you can sit for minutes and it feels like hours. So just go with the flow. Unless you absolutely have to be somewhere, then I advise you not to use a timer. So not setting up the environment right in the first place is what trips up many meditators. You should only have to set up your environment once or twice, especially if you can leave it set up. But it is worth checking from time to time just to make sure that the space is as quiet as it can be and that members of your family are being considerate and not making too much noise while you meditate. It's very easy to drift into patterns that derail your meditation without even realizing it. So hopefully you found a naturally calm place in your house to set up, away from sudden noises, no interruptions, no smells, no bright lights, no electronics, not too hot, not too cold, comfortable clothing. And if you get all those things right, you'll stand a really good chance of having a wonderful meditation. So give yourself a fighting chance and don't give your mind any chance to interrupt you. Alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.